What's up, everybody? Welcome back to X-Plane 11. My name is Micah. I was trying out a new timer thing there. I'm not sure if I like it that much. Had some issues with it. I might have to go in and make a video and just do it that way, and then just play the video. Probably better, have some effects and stuff in it. Anyway, we are here in Atlanta with the Flight Factor A320 214. We, of course, in the Delta Livery, we're flying a flight from Atlanta to Palm Beach International. The estimated flight time is 1 hour and 35 minutes. That's from back from the gate to pulling up to the gate in Palm Beach. We'll see how accurate that is. Guys, I am one subscriber short of 1,500. That is phenomenal and quite amazing. One of the reasons I'm streaming tonight, because I was like, hey, might as well, right? Let's reach 1,500 and make that something special. So anyway, I have done some research today in regards to the Flight Factor A320, kind of some real life procedures when you're flying the aircraft. This may not be 100% accurate. Everything may not be perfect, but just wanted to make sure that I at least know generally how to fly the aircraft and I don't look like a idiot. Well, I'm flying it tonight. So let's get inside the aircraft. As we can see, it is cold and dark, which that means everything is off completely. A couple things we want to make sure of first before we start up is that our radars and PWS systems are off from the get-go. We don't want to beam out the front and kill people, give them cancer inside the building. That would be a big no-go. We'll make sure our master switches are off, and this is on normal. Make sure our spoilers are down, flaps are down, thrust is at idle, which it is at idle, and landing gear is down, which you can barely see it, but it's right there. I'm going to go up and make sure our our wipers are off, which the up position is the off position. We're going to make sure our battery voltage is above 25.6. If it's lower than 25.6, we have to charge them. And luckily, it is higher than that, so we don't have to worry about that. We can go ahead and turn the batteries on. Kind of letting it boot up a little bit here. We can go ahead and ask them to bring up the ground power unit as well, so we can go ahead and switch over to that. And the aircraft will come to life now. We're going to let all the screens do their self-test. We'll watch them to make sure everything looks good there. We don't want any screens that are malfunctioning. And it can take up to 40 seconds to do so. Come on now, let's go. All right, all of the screens look like they are functioning properly at this point, so that's great to hear and see. We're going to go overhead. We'll do a APU fire test. I'm sorry, I got to hold it down. Make sure I'm getting the master warning and the master caution lights. APU fire, I am. So that is good. Emergency exits, those are going to arm. Parking brakes already set, I believe. Yes, so we're good there. Pro window heats. This is gonna stay off unless, for example, it was absolutely freezing outside and my windows had fogged up or something like that. Then you would turn it on to on. But in general, you keep it on auto unless otherwise stated. We're gonna go and turn on my aiders to nav. Switch one at a time to nav, which then will show a line. But we also want to make sure that this on battery light comes on, just in case we lose main power, that we won't lose our aiders, our IRS. And we're doing that for each one. Make sure on battery comes on and then goes off again. And we'll do it for the third one. And we got on battery, so we're good there. nav and logo lights are coming to 1. And we'll go ahead and set our cockpit lighting here. Let's go for our dome. Let's go ahead and go dim for now. That way we can see everything. But we also want to see, where is it? Here it is. Main panel flood. We're going to turn that up as well. PED flood as well. And I think that's fine for brightness on that. We're good there. So we'll say we're good on the cockpit lights. We're going to go down and we're going to check some things here. We want to make sure that our hydraulic fluids, they are in the green. We don't want any of them in the amber down here. If they're in the amber, then you can have issues with, you're not going to have enough hydraulic pressure for your control surfaces or landing gear and stuff like that. You want to make sure they're in the green, which they are. Oil, go over to the engine here and make sure our oil quantity is also in the green. We don't want it down here in the yellow. And it's, of course, in the green, and we're good to go there as well. Bring up in the door. We want to make sure our cockpit oxygen PSI is above, which means this is green. It needs to be green. If it's yellow or red, or, well, if it's red, you're screwed. But you want to make sure that it's at least in the green, which it is. So we're good there. We are now going to bring up the MCDU here, and we're going to go through the diffsrip, which is basically the process of programming this, this computer here. First thing we want to do is bring up the data and AC status. Want to make sure, which it was there anyway, but you go into the process, right? Make sure our nav data is the correct nav database. If we look, we can actually see that this is actually out of date now. We are in May, so we are one nav data behind, which, you know, in real life would mean that we wouldn't be able to fly this aircraft, but it's in the simulator, so we'll be okay. No big deal with that. Go to our init page. We are going to be flying from Atlanta, flying to Palm Beach International. Go ahead and put that information in. We don't have any company route saved, so go right back to return. Our flight number today, I'm going to bring up my EFB, and flight number today, I didn't want to zoom, I wanted to go up. There we go. We are Delta Airlines 2004. 2004. Into our flight number. Our cost index, we'll put 30. Our cruising altitude is 0350, so 35,000 feet. And our temperature at cruise, if we bring up the, I think it's the next page, or next. All right. You notice that if you look across here at all these points, except for Mali, but pretty much all of them are negative 47 degrees. So our actual top of climb, or I'm sorry, our actual cruise temperature is, oh shoot, I gotta put slash negative 47. That will give us a little bit more accurate information, performance numbers. All right, winds. Go ahead and do a wind request. And now we need to go into IRS init. We will align on reference. Return. Now we'll go into our flight plan. Now we're going to build our flight plan. And we build from the beginning to the end. So departure out of Atlanta. Let's bring up our waypoints here. So this is our entire flight plan. As you can see, it is quite complicated. We have a SID, we have a transition point, we have another waypoint, we have an airways, another waypoint, a star, and transition out into the star to runway 28 right. So we have quite a bit of planning to do here. So if you ever wanted to see how to do that in the A320, you're gonna see it today. You're gonna learn today. All right, departure. We are flying out of 09 left. Go and select that. We are using the Smoltz 2 SID. So we'll go down, down, down. There it is. Smoltz 2 SID. we don't have any transitions. At least it's not showing any transitions. There it is. Wallet. And we'll go ahead and insert that into our temporary flight plan. Go down, down, down. And we'll see you have discontinuity. Now here's the fun part. Here's where we have to do the airways. So we're going to first put in our next waypoint, which is Yankee Uniform Echo Sierra Sierra, and to here. Now if we click this, we do airways, and now we say via Quebec 792, we're getting off at Dauphy, so Delta Oscar Foxtrot Foxtrot Yankee. Now we go back into temporary, insert that into the temporary, and we should, key point should here, have our information set. So go wallet, we go to use, then we're going to use this airway right here, Quebec 79, until we reach Dauphy. Once we reach Dauphy, we're going to go direct to Mali, M-O-L-I-E, and insert that. And now we're going to be doing an arrival. Our arrival, of course, is to runway 28 right, ILS 28 right, and we'll use the Wallace 4, and we'll go and insert that. And bring, return, and then we'll clear out this discontinuity. And we should, theoretically, have our plan in now. Just going through. Now we see I have a discontinuity here. We also have a manual. Manual usually indicates that that's where ATC would vector you onto somewhere. We are going to clear both. Sorry, we got to clear the manual out first. We're going to clear both out. And that should bring us into the area. Now, if we want to check all that, which we should want to check all of that, we need to go up, bring this up, and we'll go to plan. We can go back down. Let's see if I can make this a little bigger. I thought there's a way you can make this bigger. Isn't there? Yep, there we go. There we go. So we go all the way up, and I actually want to, let me make this a little bit larger here. This is just to help us make sure we're stepping properly. So again, we're starting in Atlanta. We'll intercept, go out to Grits, Himson, Trophy, Smoltz, Wallet, Yus, Dauphy, Mali, Rusta, Wallace, Aaron Brown, what's up? Welcome. Bobbio, Golo, Becca, to Cupid, Realty, and then on to our runway. And then, of course, our hold would be out to Morga and do a hold pattern out there. So that looks correct, which is great. That's going to save us some headache having to fix anything. All right. So now that we have the flight plan done in our MCDU, we have to go to our secondary flight plan. Now, secondary flight plan can be used multiple different ways. The way I'm going to do it is I'm going to use this as in case I have to turn around and land back where we started. Amer, welcome. And that we've done that, we can go ahead and let's see. Yep, go back second. Yep, that's done. Secondary flight plan, that's right. And do our arrival. We'll just do an arrival back on to ILS 09 left, which I believe is what we're taking off from. Go ahead and return. And what that's going to do is give us a way to get back to the airport if we need to. Just go ahead and flip to the secondary flight plan without having to worry about messing around with the MCDU. All right. And secondary flight plan still, performance. We're not worrying about any of this portion. We are just going to do the destination, which is of course where we're starting from. So if we go back here, let's bring up Atlanta, and we're going to put in the information here. Temperature right now is 27. Winds are 070.5. And our decision altitude back onto 09 left in Atlanta. We can pull that up. If we're doing approach ILS, out of breath, barely made a gate. And you got time. You got time. Let's see. 09 left. There we go. Our decision altitude for ILS is 1359. 1359. And it's a, yeah. Oh, come on. I'm sorry, it's an MDA. There we go. Okay. I can close that out now. And that's all we're going to do with the secondary flight plan. We're not going to do anything else. There's no reason to do anything else with that. So we're good there. Make sure. All right, yep. So radio navigation, we're going to leave it auto. We're not going to hard do anything. Is there any ways to use a side panel in that computer for Navigraph? You could, I guess, theoretically go to the website and use the website on the browser. I prefer using this, but I suppose you could go to the browser and type in the address to Navigraph and log in that way and try to do it that way. I wish they would, actually use, include the, what do you call it, AviTab. I wish AviTab would, work with Flight Factor and get it into the EFB here. That'd be very useful. But they don't do that yet, so it is what it is. All I can do is wish at this point. So yeah, we're going to leave this auto. We're not going to worry about hard tuning anything. We'll go to our init page, and we'll do our second page now. Our second page is, of course, going to be dependent on our actual weight. And to put our weight into the aircraft, I'm going to close this out actually. We're going to bring up our services. We'll call a fuel truck. Go ahead and open up our front left door here and call for baggage as well. Bring up our chart here so we can get our fuel. Now our cargo today is going to be 5 tons. So try to balance it out. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. Bring this up. Go and set that. And those can go ahead and remove as well. And fuel. So we'll go to fuel here. And we're going to do all tanks. Zero out first. And then we're going to go 7226, around 7226. Set that, and the fuel truck can go away. And we're going to go with 100 passengers. Well, 99 would work. We'll just do 99, go with that. Right, yeah, they might. I'm sure in the 767 they might have that. They don't have that for some reason in the A320. I'm not sure why, but they don't. I wish they would. But I prefer AviTab just because of the usefulness of it. But to each their own. So do a wait request. It'll pull all the information. We'll verify that information real fast to make sure it all looks correct and according to plan here. If we look at our perf data here, move this out of the way. And we'll check to make sure that our zero fuel weight matches, which it does. And the zero fuel weight CG 26.4 matches. So, and block fuel matches. So we're good. Everything matches. Looks great. So we can go ahead and get back down here. Move this over here a little bit better to see. All right, progress page. We're going to set our actual Atlanta. And which runway were we taking off again? Was it 09 left? Yep. So KATA 09 left. And that's just to give us a quick and down and dirty to, you know, way to turn back or see our distance and direction. That sucks, Jeremy. That would really suck, wouldn't it? LS Vlogs, yeah, I haven't seen you a little bit. Nice to have you back, man. All right, so performance data is done. And I'm sorry, not performance data. Progress. GPS primary nav accuracy is on high. Now we go to performance. We're going to pull VR and V2, and then we'll set V1. We're going to use flaps 1. We got plenty of runway today. Take off our flex temperature. Down and dirty way to do it. You find your temperature here, 25, add 15, makes it 40, then add 1, so 41 degrees. All right. Our thrust reduce or acceleration point is 2530. So at 2530, we can, in fact, increase thrust to our climb, or reduce thrust to our climb level instead of using togo or flex. Make sure that's right. Transition altitude is correct as well. So at this point, we go ahead and call in. Isn't that how it normally is? Yeah, well, I've been lucky. I've not had to sit next to in between two large guys. So now kids kicking the back seat and stuff. Well, I'll tell you what, when I flew overseas, unfortunately, you always hear the stories, but it was true for me. I had a kid 2 rows in front of me, a baby that just cried the whole way. It was, oh man, it was miserable. I did not get a wink of sleep on that thing. 12 hours of misery is what that was. Anyway, our squawk today, we'll just do our flight number. That usually wouldn't happen, but I'll just do it just for the sake of doing it. Go ahead and set our altitude. Let's say we originally let's get cleared to, I don't know, let's say we get originally cleared to 9,000 feet. I don't know, I just picked that out of the air, so we'll just say 9,000 today. All right, so that's done. You can go and close this out. We shouldn't need this for a second here. Go ahead, overhead here, and we'll start a little bit of pre-flight. Seatbelts coming on, no smoking is coming on. Fuel pumps, those all need to come on. Aiders are on nav. Fuel required versus fuel on board. Fuel on board, 7,200 kilograms, and we need a 7,208. That is close enough. I will take it any day. We'll go ahead and open, start master switch APU. I'll wait for that flap to open, which we will see right here. I'll say APU flap open. Flaps open, so we'll go overhead and we'll start our APU. Just wait for that APU generator to get going here, which it is now. So, all right, that's available. So we go and turn off external power, have them remove the, go ahead and remove that as well. Go ahead and remove the ground power unit. Close doors. All doors should be closed at this point, so we'll go ahead and check that. Make sure all doors are closed. All doors are closed and armed. That is correct configuration. We're good there. Beacon can come on now. Thrust should be at idle, which it is. Thrust at idle. Parking brake is set. Transponder should be on auto. TCAS should be on standby. And TCAS should be set to above. And we'll go ahead and do a pushback request.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready. Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Are you talking about the better pushback? Is that what you're talking about?
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect. So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
So this is where I'll be taking off right here. Hey, Matthew. Yeah, how's it going? It's going well for me. Yep, should be a fun flight. Absolutely.
And you may start engines.
All right. Starting the pushback, we may go and start our engines. So we'll go ahead and put APU bleed on. Engine mode goes to start. And we'll go ahead and start one. Oh, you know what? It's not going to start yet until the APU bleed actually starts powering. And that's my bad. Bring up our APU. Make sure we're getting pressure. We are getting pressure now. So now if we hit the start button, we'll start powering up. Yeah, now we're getting it. His mom, a double shot for me. Now the two guys. Hey, Jeremy, we happen to have a extra seat up in first class on the flight today, and we randomly did a raffle up here in the cockpit with all the ticket stubs. And Jeremy Swan, you have been upgraded to first class. Engine 2 stabilized, going to start, I'm sorry, engine 1 stabilized, going to start engine 2.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Set the parking brake.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
And engine 2 looks like a good start on engine 2. Clear that out. Go ahead and start our timer for our cold engines. Has to reach 5 minutes before we can actually throttle all the way up. Alright, so that's complete. Go and get a hand signal as well. This goes back to normal. Armed. Oh, come on. Armed. 1. And elevator trim. What was the elevator trim? Oops.
So is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
All right, appreciate it. Zero fuel, trim position up 0.6. So if we do flight controls here, we can make sure we have the right. Should be about right there. Oh, close. Close. There we go, up 0.6. All right, so that's done. APU bleed can come off. Master switch comes off. And looks like we got, hold on. Make sure he has the pin, which he does have the pin. That's good. That way we have actually control of the aircraft. We'll go ahead and let him know we see him. He's good to go. Taxi lights coming on. And yeah, so we should go ahead and release that parking brake now. And we'll get going on the taxi. Sorry, there's not another available seat. Let's see. Cabin status. Hard to see, isn't it? Ooh, missed my turn. Missed my turn. Alright, auto brakes going to max. Cabin already hit the check. So they should be checking it right now. Should we go ahead and do a takeoff config test? And we're in the normal, so we're good there. You're fired. Hey, if you want to fire me while I'm controlling the aircraft, that may not be the smartest decision you've ever made. Just saying. I'm just kind of playing around with this because I honestly haven't played around with this. Cabin ready. Oh, that's what it was. That's interesting. Alright, let's get going here. Get this taxi over with so we can get up into the air. That'd be fun. Jeremy, and by the way, I don't know, your friend, I guess your friend isn't an instructor, is he? That would be awesome to have a friend that was an instructor. Because then all these flights you've been doing could technically count towards your pilot's license if you wanted to do that. Of course, if you were actually in control of the aircraft. Go and do a brake check right now. Make sure the brake pressure doesn't increase. Yep, that's good. Radar PTOS on. It's not modeled right now. Transponder can go TARA. Flight attendants prepare for takeoff. Alright, do a quick check here. Gross weight 61700 check. Flight control. Go ahead and do a check here. Hit my microphone. Left, right, forward, back. Check for the airline detent, which is good. Go ahead and check. Where is it? Where is it? There. Check full left, full right. Good. Alright, that's done. So flight controls are good. Fuel required versus fuel on board. Fuel on board 7080. Fuel required. Bring in our plug in here. Bring in our charts. Fuel required for takeoff 7126. Ooh, we're a little below what we should be, but I'll be alright. We'll be okay. Engine mode should be on normal. Engine mode's on normal. VREF check 137138 1FD. That is all selected. Holding short runway right now. Waiting for clearance for takeoff. Bleeds and packs should all be extinguished. They are. Terrain on ND. Go ahead and select that. All right. Atlanta Tower, Delta Airlines 2004. Holding short runway 09 left. Takeoff. But 0, you're clear to take off, maintain 9,000 feet, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get our runway takeoffs, landings up. Nose goes to takeoff, strobe comes on, wing comes on. Have we met the 5 minutes? We have met the 5 minutes. Chrono comes off. All right. We're not really low on fuel. I mean, we're like only like 60 pounds below. You got to understand that whenever you calculate fuel, you have your alternate calculated in, your emergency reserves calculated in. I could fly to PB. Oh, we got an airline coming in here. Why did he clear me for takeoff if there's a airline coming in? What kind of ATC? No joke. Where'd he go? I can't see him. Whatever. He disappeared. That is really strange. Okay, I guess we're good to go then. All right. Go ahead and let's hit our chrono button. I'm sorry, no, we don't hit a chrono until our gear comes up. Let's see. Get up onto the runway here.
On runway 09 left.
All right, going up to 50. Wait for that stabilization at 50. All right, and to flex. Keeping that nose down. 80 knots. 100 knots. Go and relieve the pressure, forward pressure on the stick. V1 rotate. Gently pull up on the yoke here. If you're not careful, you will just yank yourself up into the sky with this aircraft. Pause rate, gears coming up. And nav's activated. Speed brake is down. Flaps coming up on time. Switching to level climb. Level climb. And we'll go ahead and activate autopilot 1. And the autopilot has the aircraft. Ground spoilers are down. Flaps are up. Landing gear is up. We are up and flying, guys. Pop out here. Getting out of Atlanta. X-Plane 11 at night is absolutely gorgeous. Found the paperwork to file your call sign for Flight King 90. Well, I got you all here, guys. If you're enjoying the stream, don't forget to subscribe. Go ahead and like this video as well. Helps me with the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to financially support me, there's a couple ways you can do that. First, you can join the Flight Club for $9.99 a month. Get access to the Flight Club only Discord. You also are able to get the livery on my 737-800, which is the Flight Club livery, for free. You also get cool emojis in during live streams and cool icons next to your aircraft as well. Now, you also have the option of doing Super Chat. Super Chat, of course, is using the $sign below this chat window, and you can use that to send me a little bit of cash if you want to help me out. I did have to replace my water here today. That was fun. But anyway, we're clear. Let's say we're cleared. Go ahead and climb to our original altitude of, as filed, 350. So yeah, those are ways you can support me there. But free ways, of course, subscribe, like, all that fun stuff. I'm still 1 subscriber away from reaching 1,500 subscribers. I am at 14. Whoa, there's a freaking aircraft right there. But my TCAS isn't picking it up. Oh, because it's live traffic. That's right. Live traffic doesn't pick up the TCAS right now because of the way the settings are. So, oops. Oh, man. So just ignore that. That didn't happen, guys. That didn't happen. We're past 10,000 feet, so that means all these can come off. No, man, you don't want to see me do a helicopter. I'm absolutely horrendous with a helicopter. On my progress page, we can go ahead and clear this out, and we can put in Kilo, Papa, Bravo, Ida, and we're going to be landing on, what's it, 22 right, I believe, 22 right. Okay, that must not have been it. Let's just put in the airport. Kilo, Bravo, I'm sorry, Kilo, Papa, Bravo, Ida. Oh, so 453 to our destinations. Does X-Plane 11 have the missions? Oh, shoot. I don't think... There's not, like, missions like FSX has missions, but X-Plane 11 does have the ability to do scenarios, and there's plenty of scenarios out there that you can play, and there's... people have gone out and made scenarios and stuff like that, so it's not missions as you would like see, like, oh, you have to go here and rescue this person, there's a person lying on the ground kind of deal, but you can still, there's still scenarios that kind of are the same thing, if that makes sense. As far as I know. I've never done them, so I really couldn't tell you exactly how it is. And, you know, I didn't do. Didn't hit the chrono for when I put the gear up, but go ahead and hit it now. About to pass through 18,000 feet. 18,000 feet means, of course, that we change to standard. Standard. And Indy comes off. Terrain comes off. Our cruising altitude today will be 350. I do have a joystick, and it'd probably be a little bit easier if I used a joystick than a yoke. I do have a throttle. What I wish I had was the actual, what do you call it? Shoot. I can't remember what that stick's called on the left side where you pull it up and push it down for your throttle, and then you have the actual turn on it, which is your RPMs. I can't remember what that's called, but I figured if you probably had that in the joystick, that would actually be a little easier than using a throttle, but it is what it is. Collective. Yes, the collective. That thing. Got a little ways before we hit our top of climb right after use, and then we'll be flying. Now between here and here, we're on 8 airways, so a little bit of a long flight today, but I wanted to do something a little different, fly a little different location with a different aircraft, which we are of course doing. Allows you guys to ask me questions more. Gives us more time up in the air. As you see, we're still 427 nautical miles away from Palm Beach. Like, nobody's in there. Oh no. I think it's because I don't have it set in the settings here. Let's see. Nope. I thought it was in here for people. I guess it's not. I thought honestly you could show the people in here, but I'm not seeing that as an option. That's okay. Yeah, well. Oh, oof. Is this plane worth it if you already have the JAR A320 already? So, it depends on how much you're wanting to get into it. The JAR A320 is a good aircraft, and it's fun to fly. The difference between that and the Flight Factor A320 is the Flight Factor A320 is what they consider to be a study level aircraft, which means it is as detailed as you can get in a simulator that you can. So the A320 is not that. It's not considered a study level. Excuse me. But it's still a good aircraft. It depends on how much you're wanting to get into it. Are you wanting to get into it as real as you can? Then dropping the money on this will be what you'd want to do. And again, of course, it's a budget thing as well. How much do you have to spend? Do you really want to spend it, etc., etc.? I'm looking for fuel. Make sure we're a little unbalanced, but that's not too bad. If I wanted to fix that, I'll just go up here and turn off these pumps and pull a little bit more from here. Right, Jeremy, there it pretty much is. Oh, I need to put crossfeed on. That's right. Crossfeed on. Alright, so this comes back on. And go back crossfeed. That way we have equal. APU should be off. Conditioners, that looks fine. 24. All that is green, armed. Am I going to add VR anytime soon? Like, am I going to do virtual reality? Probably not. High pressures are off, that's good. Pressurization, that's good. Yep, all in the green. That looks fine. Hydraulics are all good in the green. Okay, that looks all good. Status, clear. Recall, and looks good to me. Okay. We're basically at cruise, so we'll go ahead and switch the seatbelts to auto. Let them know that they can go ahead and move about the cabin today. I'm going to go down to our TCAS, switch this to all. Already did our status check on all of our systems. The reason I say I'm probably not going to add VR anytime soon is mainly because streaming VR is kind of weird. So I'm just kind of keeping standard. And there's issues that come with VR, eye fatigue. You can get vertigo, just other stuff that I would rather not have. I don't see the benefits outweighing the consequences. So I do have Track IR, and I probably should start using that. You don't like the interior colors of the JAR A320? There might be some options out there for downloads to fix that. Gets up to smoke a joint. Here we go. Violating federal law once again. You know what I need to do? I think I actually had the Flight Factor 767. I just haven't gone in there and pocket knife, really. Haven't gone in there and actually learned the 767. That is a plan. I do plan on doing that at some point, but you know, it's on the list. I have a long list of things. Anyway, like I was saying, I need to somehow figure out how to do a quick change on like how my microphone sounds, so that I can do kind of like announcements, like you would hear on an actual aircraft. Make it like an intercom. I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna do that. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I know there's a way to do it, but I want to be able to do it quickly. I wonder if I could. Properties. Yes. What? No. Come on now. Where is it? Filters. And add a filter. Nope, none of those. None of those. Anyway. Had a study level A380. That's a big aircraft, man. I'd like to just have a wide body A330 or a 777 study level. And I know there's a 777 out there, but it's not study level. Or a 787 study level. That would be freaking awesome. Ah, it's going, man. As always. Sad to see in the last couple days several fellow brothers in blue have fallen in the line of duty. One even at a police station. It's crazy nowadays. Mach altitude star. Mach altitude. So that means we're officially on our cruise now. We have hit our altitude cruise. Is there any other study level besides the A320? I would say, now technically, you could say it's not really, but really it is, the 737-800 by Zevo. I would absolutely say that's a study level aircraft now. Compared to a year ago, it absolutely is a study level. That's my opinion, of course. But Flight Deck, the sim, uses it all the time and does. He's a real 737-800 pilot and does the exact same procedures, and it works exactly as it's supposed to. It works like a charm. Yeah, Jeremy, there's been several, actually. Unfortunately, you don't hear a lot about them. So, 2 aircraft. If you want study level, I would say first A320 is a study level, and then 737-800 Zebo, I would say, would be a study level now. And, of course, the 737-800 Zebo is free. So, of course, if I remember correctly, this last iteration, 3.34, is the last iteration that is free. That portion will remain free, but just based on the fact of the amount of time they're spending making it as good as possible, they're going to start charging for it. In the Zibo, so what you need to do, go into the settings, and I can't remember which setting it is inside of the EFB, which is the tablet. There is a something that talks about ground control with rudders. Make sure you have it where it's the set to where it actually does do it. I can't remember the exact setting, but it's in there. No, I'm not rural. I am in the middle of a city. and I patrol in what they consider to be the most violent area. It's what we signed up to do, though. I mean, we don't sign up to die, but we sign up to, you know, protect people and put our lives on the line for people. All right, let's see here. Yes, he did. And I 100% agree with that. Dude ran into the guy. The guy was shooting at people. I mean, you can't beat that. And that's just phenomenal. Oh, look at that. I have hit 1,500 subscribers. I repeat, I have hit 1,500 subscribers. Sound the alarm. I have hit it. I don't know why it didn't push it through. But I have hit it. See if I can pull up the thing. Oh, nope, wrong button. Wrong button. Let me log in here. See if I can push it through. I've had issues with Streamlabs recently. There it is. What much can you do with the tablet and the Flight Factor A320? So in the A320, I'm going to turn this up so you can see it better. Obviously, you can set all of this. You can set your fuel, your packs, your cargo. You can get all of your performance data. There is a checklist built in. I don't use it. You have a browser, so you can pull up SimBrief, or you can pull up, you know, anything like that if you wanted to. There's all the settings for the aircraft. You can save different states. That way, you can just load them back up. It does have a built-in map where you can put in the Google API key and apply, and it'll bring up the map for you. And then, of course, you have your selector here for different options like your audio, your lights, doors and slides, temperature, water and waste, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, so not a whole lot, but you got a browser in there. So as long as you can access this via the internet, you can pretty much do it whatever you want. 311. And Mark Cunahan, thank you for the subscription. You're the 1,500th subscriber to my channel. That is a milestone for me. Thank you so much to all of my subscribers out there. I'll unsubscribe. No. Don't unsubscribe now. Now I have 1501, so I'm not sure who the next guy is. But, yeah, again, I'm having issues where my alerts are not coming through. I'm not sure why. I've tried reconnecting, connecting, all that kind of stuff, and it doesn't work, so whatever, though. I'll have to figure it out someday. What content do I do? Mainly explain. That's pretty much what I do. I do everything from tutorials to the basics, like in Cessnas and stuff, to Zebo. I do a lot of Zebo 737 content. I do a lot of live streams now. I used to not, but I do live streams with different aircraft, mainly the 737-800. That's the one I know the most. But every now and then I'll hop into something like the A320. But yeah, I mainly do tutorials and stuff like that. That's kind of what I focused on. And that was mainly because when I started doing this, there really wasn't tutorials out there that made sense to the average enthusiast, someone who's just, you know, learning to do this kind of stuff. So I sat down and did a lot of research and started making tutorials for people. And man, I'll tell you what, My first tutorial I did for the Zebo took off like a rocket, not like a plane, but like a rocket. Let's see if I can pull it up here and tell you why I say that. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, so my first tutorial with the Zebo was 11,000, and my second one was 61,000. And I was like, holy cow, that's what people want. So I started making that kind of stuff. Is X-Plane the best relatively cheap flight sim out there? Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Okay. So it. I'm going to say it is the best flight sim out there because the ability to grow it is phenomenal. However, there are cheaper options out there or the same priced options starting that give you more, but may not be quite as in-depth and detailed. But I would definitely say X-Plane 11 is the best out there. And there's a lot of options for add-ons and free plugins and stuff that really make it the best without a doubt. Just loads better than the alternatives. P3D would be the other one I would recommend if you wanted to get into flight simming, but don't have a lot of cash to spend. P3D is going to get you a good start without spending a lot of money on extras. But ultimately, X-Plane is going to be better. But P3D is not bad either. I never went to P3D. I watched the videos and comparisons and stuff, and I ended up going to X-Plane based on the fact that you could do more. But it's not a bad sim. P3D is not bad. But I'd still put X-Plane has a slight edge on it when it comes to realism. Which has the best default? I'd say P3D probably has the best default. But if you're looking to fly airlines, I'd stay with X-Plane 11 because you can get the free 737-800. I mean, you really cannot beat that. The Zebo 737 is the best aircraft out there. It's just because it's free. But it beats out a lot of paid aircraft. So, I mean, it really is phenomenal. And then you have the 737-900, which is part of the Ultimate team, which, partnered with the Zebo. So they're all under one umbrella now. So you get the 800 and the 900. And now the 700. I forgot the 737-700's out now as well. So you get 3 aircraft. Of course, they're all part of the 737 family, but they're different links. They carry different people, different performances. But all of them are extremely high quality and cost you $0. Absolutely free. You really can't beat that. At 250 miles away, we'll start our arrival and approach validations and briefs and stuff. Where can you get the 737-700? If you just go to my channel, there's a video, I think a couple back, that I did, said the 737-700 first look. Just hit that video and there's a link in the description. It's the direct link to download it. All right, let's go ahead and bring up our Avi tab. All right. So, we don't need Atlanta anymore. Get rid of that. But we do need PBI. So right now, our weather seems pretty good. It has some clouds, but wind's calm, so that's good. Let's go ahead and bring up our arrival and approach. So our arrival is using the Wallace for our nav. And we also are using the approach ILS for, I thought, is it 28 right that we're flying into? It must be. Yep, 28 right. Okay, so 28 right, not 22 right, 28 right. Alrighty, so our arrival, we are going to be hitting Wallace, Molly, spec 350, which is what we'll start off at. We'll continue down until we hit Wolf at 240, RSDA to Wallace at 190, and then at Bobbio we should be at 10,000 feet, no greater than 250 knots. We'll continue down to Golio, be at 6,000. Continue down to Becca and then Cupid, at which point we'll transition over to the ILS. Turn back down to Realty, which is actually pick up at Cupid. We'll pick up the, well, I guess at Realty we will. Realty will pick up the glide slope at 1,500 feet. And our decision altitude will be 218. And we're going to make sure our navigational radio stuff ILS is 119.90, IPWB, that is correct. Progress 2, we are already destination. Let's see if we can put the runway in, 28 right. There we go. 231 nautical miles away. Okie dokie. And now we'll go to performance. And we're going to go over to our descent. And we're going to make sure that our descent doesn't violate any of these speed restrictions. Which it doesn't. There is no speed restrictions coming all the way down until we hit Bobbio. At Bobbio, we're going to be switching over to our approach mode anyway. So 250 knots is not a big deal. I'm good with flying 293. I have no issues with that. So that's good. On our approach, we'll go ahead and pull up our current weathers that we have. We'll go and pop this out so we have it. And bring it down here. So our QNH is 30.01. Our current temperature is 23 degrees Celsius. Our winds are 290 at 3. Later, Jeremy. 290 at 03. Transition altitude is 18,000, the app 134. MDA. All right, MDA or DA or DH is 218. So I'll put 218 here. And we'll use full configuration. Let's see. Fuel extra 2.3, which matches actually our extra, so we're good on that. Fuel on board. Yeah, we'll be good. We will be good for that. Fuel's good. Secondary flight plan. At this point, we can go and delete that. Go and copy the active for our secondary flight plan. Go back to our progress page. Close that down. Close this down. And again, we are still plenty of way out. Go ahead though and set our auto brakes too low. And we'll hold off until we get closer to our top of the descent. And then we'll set some other information in. We're just going to do another flow here. Make sure we have all of our information still green. And that we haven't lost anything important. It's all balanced. AP, that's off. Yep. It all looks good to me. Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? That would be an option I guess they could add, having a browser in the tablet. We're approaching our top of descent in about 60 miles now. Well, that was not correct. I guess it's about 120 nautical miles top of descent. That doesn't make much sense. Let me pull up my killer music. I'm gonna pull up this information again. Wallace, we gotta be Wolf, we gotta be 240. So we gotta descend before that. Molly, we gotta be 350. That's right. So I don't know what is going on with you. Yeah, that's not right. At Wallace, we gotta be at 190. So /190. There we go. That looks better. That was weird. It changed the top of descent. I wonder why it did that. Good thing I noticed. That would have been very unfortunate. So what is it saying I need to be at rust, whatever. 24. No, it actually needs to be at 240. Interesting. Interesting. That's for sure. Good thing you pay attention, guys. You gotta pay attention. Sometimes things happen. Alright. Since we are using ILS, we're going to activate the LS. Our restriction today for our... we'll go ahead and set for 1500. Actually, no. We actually set it up for the radar fix, yep, which is going to be out here at 3000. So set this down to 3000. Like so. You can close that. And once we get 5 miles out from our top of descent, we'll go ahead and switch it to manage descent mode. So we can bring it on down. Bring it on down. Bring it on down. Oh, I hope you guys have had a good Monday so far. Mine's been fraught with different things. I woke up. I had today off, so I woke up and grouted some of their tile we've been laying. Then I did some research into this aircraft I'm flying right now, actually. Then I ate dinner, and we discovered our water heater. Of course, our water heater had a leak in it. And when troubleshooting it and everything like that, we discovered, guess what? We actually have to replace the whole stinking thing. So I had to go to Home Depot, buy a water heater, bring it back, take the old one out, and put the new one in. So I had to do that this evening. It took me a few hours to do that. But I have a new one in now, and it's running great. It's actually more efficient than my old one, so it'll actually save us money in the long run. So it's good there, and it's a 12-year water heater, so it'll last us a long time. And I got a better cutoff valve. The old one was really stupid, small little cutoff valve. It's really a pain to try to turn on and off, but this new one's bought a larger cutoff valve, and much easier to handle. Haha, no pun intended. Oh, man. But yeah, it hurt my bank a little bit, but it's all right. $687 later, we have hot water again. But now I'm here doing what I really love to do, and that's fly in X-Plane 11. .30 nautical miles from top of descent. About 20 miles out from top of descent. $15. 10 miles out from top of descent. All right. Preparing to start the descent here. And descent. So we've started our descent now into the Palm Beach area. We'll do a gentle 1,000 feet per minute descent until we intercept our descent line, at which point we will descend all the way down to 3,000 feet, which we should hit about 3,000 at our approach fix. Go ahead and hit terrain on ND. That way we are detecting any terrain in the area, which shouldn't be that big of a deal. It's pretty flat down here in Florida, so terrain should not be really a factor, but have it on anyway. We'll descend all the way through 18,000, which time we'll switch our local QNH. Then we'll descend through 10,000. We'll activate our approach phase, turn on our landing lights, runway turnoff lights, and wing lights. And if necessary, we'll manually manage the selected speed. Once we're cleared to our approach, we'll go ahead and make sure our radios are set properly. We'll do a nose lights to go to taxi, and then we'll arm the approach. Our goal is to be about 2,000 feet above ground level, which is about 2,000 feet above the airport itself. We should be at flaps 2, 180 knots. Once we're cleared to land, we'll switch our nose lights to takeoff. We'll go ahead and do our final lap. We'll do a managed speed of, we'll go ahead and select managed speed, I should say. Flaps down to 3, and then we'll go ahead and do, of course, final lap means that we've selected our glide slope's been activated. Managed speed, flaps down to 3, go around will be set altitude, and then 10 knots above the VREF, we'll go ahead and do flaps full. Now our go around today is going to be 2,000 feet. So make sure that once we have our glide slope activated, we'll go ahead and do the go around at 2,000 feet. That way, if we do have to do a go around, all we have to do is go TOGO, and it'll go ahead and we'll do a go around of the airport itself. Really hasn't been a change of weather, minor change in the wind direction. Same, about 3 knots. No gusts, just a constant 3-knot breeze. Temperature is 23. Dew point's 21. We got a few clouds at 4,000, scatter clouds at 11,000, and another layer of scattered clouds at 25,000. Shouldn't have too difficulty. No real worry of ice or anything, but we'll just keep an eye on that just in case. Go ahead and hit the constraints button. See, we have flight level 240 constraints there. 240. Pull up our approach here. At Bobbio, we should be at 10,250, which is not saying right here. So we'll go ahead and make sure that that is set. 250, 10,000. did not want to propagate. There we go. And that is the only other restriction that we have. So that is good. That's probably because I don't have the most latest nav data that it wasn't pulling that information. But that's fine. You should be able to manually input it, which it did allow me to do. And that'll bring us in a nice descent into the area. Or should, at least, bring us into a nice descent to the area. Should being the key word there. Now we have hit 240 at Rasta, which is what we were supposed to hit. And next restrictions 190 at Willis. Just make sure we hit that as well, which we shouldn't have any issue hitting that. About to pass through 21,000. Next actions will be at 18,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and do my alternate here, my secondary flight plan. We're actually going to make that Papa Bravo Ida. Yeah. And we're actually going to go to secondary flight plan, and we're going to put in our arrival to ILS 10 left, just in case we have to switch the airfield sides, so we have to land at 10 left. That'll be our secondary flight plan, already programmed in case we need to use it. 02. Temperature is 23 and 010/03, and decision altitude for that approach would be 216. Again, this is all in case we have to activate that as our secondary flight plan, all based on the weather in the area. We are past through 18,000 feet now, so we can go ahead and switch. We can go ahead, seatbelt signs on. Make sure my local QNH was correct that I just inputted. Yep, it is. Everything's looking good. No issues as of yet. Go ahead and bring up the ATIS and see if they've changed the runway here. 123.75. One, 2, 3. Point. .75. Not quite in range of it yet, but once we are in range, they'll let us know what the active runways are. Since the winds are so calm, they'll probably allow me to land on the original runway of 28 right. But they might have me change to 10 left, which is the same runway, just the opposite direction. We will see, though. We'll probably do a manual to 205 once we hit the approach, activate the approach phase. But we'll see. Flying the A320 is constantly it's a living aircraft. It constantly is changing. You constantly have to be aware of it. Because if you don't know this, the A320, you can either slow down or you can go down. You cannot do both at the same time. It is a slippery aircraft, so it slides right through the air, which is nice for fuel efficiency, but sucks when you're trying to slow down and descend at the same time. So something you have to be very cautious on is your speed. You have to manage your speed in this aircraft. We can see Palm Beach now, off in the distance. That is Palm Beach. If you don't know where that is on the eastern side of the Florida Peninsula, down close to Miami. It's north of Miami, but it's close to it. That's weird. They're arriving and departing on 3-2, which makes 0 sense. I don't even think I can land on 3-2, so that's not going to happen. That's the only thing about X-Plane 11. They have unrealistic active runways sometimes. I'm like, I don't think they would use that for me. I don't think they'd allow me to land on that. Using some speed brake to slow me down for this point here. So I'll meet the restriction. Nope, I don't want ground spoilers armed. There we go. And we'll go ahead and do a manage the speed here. We'll bring it down to 210. Go and activate the approach phase. Confirm activate approach phase. Go ahead and turn on our runway turnoffs. Landing lights coming on. That's going to taxi. Wings coming on. Well, actually, it stays off till we get clearance to the approach. We'll just say we'll go and contact it. Miami. Palm Beach approach. Delta Airlines 2004. Inbound ILS runway 28 right through Wallace 4. Now clear the post for Wallace 4. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so we're cleared to approach to go to taxi now. And as we get closer, we'll go ahead and arm that approach, but we're still a ways out, so no need to rush. Becca, I'll probably switch it back to activate that approach. I'll switch it back to managed, and I'll go ahead and welcome back. Hope you had fun tonight. Switch it back to managed, and we'll get on in here. Hopefully nice and slow, like we're supposed to. We're on a nice gradual descent here. Check our legs page here. Flight plan, sorry. I said legs, that's 737 stuff. Okay. 708049. Let's see. 16 miles, 18 miles. I should be able to do all of that just fine. Flight attendants prepared for arrival. About not long now we'll be landing. Temperature is now 22. QNH 0.02. See where the winds are coming out of. One 010, 3 knots. It's weird because right now I have a tailwind It's the opposite direction of those winds. Little strange there. Getting closer. Just slowly inching our way into the area. Again, managing that speed. This aircraft, again, that is the Achilles heel. You have to be smart about that speed. Approach is looking good still. Everything is still looking great. Go and turn the landing system on for the AFD there as well, so we can have that as a backup. Okay, that's weird. Guess we just got a change in weather. Let's go ahead and refresh it, see what we got here. Okay, and not really much of a change, so that's okay. That's where we'll be landing. Should be a beautiful approach here, coming off the water. Should be really fun. Really good. Here's our point of descent, which is before our bottom of descent for our top of descent here onto the final, so that's good. That'll give us should allow us to get the glide slope pretty easily. What you don't want is that being behind that. If that's behind it, then you need to go ahead and do an open descent mode to get it before that, because you'll miss the glide slope intercept. Go ahead and arm the approach. Switch down to 185. Flaps 1, or slats I should say, not flaps, slats. This will be where we're landing, right here. Should be pretty cool here coming in. Palm Beach Tower, Delta Airlines Flight 2004 with you. Inbound ILS, runway 28 right. Delta Flight 2004, clear land, runway 28 right, ILS. Port when fixed on localizer. Clear land, runway 28 right. Notify when fixed on localizer. Delta Airlines 2004. All right, cleared the land. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go ahead and select manage speed here in a second. Once we drop our flaps, to 2 degrees, 2 degrees, flaps 2. So I'll extend the slats a little bit more and the flaps down as well. Remember, our go around altitude is 2,000 feet, so we'll need to set that once we establish on the glide slope. Go and arm our ground spoilers. Go flaps 2. Allow it to manage our speed. We're about to get established here onto the localizer. You'll notice when it does, this will switch to lock. When we hit our glide slope, this will switch to GS. as long as everything goes well. Just kind of doing this outside loop, and it'll come back in, kind of snake it in. It's a little strange, but it's whatever. Let's set 2,000 here. And I don't know if it's going to be able to descend and get the localizer just because it came off course here. So what I'm going to do is actually go and set it down to 15. We'll do an open descent here to 15. It's just open descent, I should say. Just to make sure we capture that glide slope. $2,000 feet. Flaps go 3. Gears coming down. Come on, baby, lock onto it. Locked. Come on, get the glide slope, get the glide slope. Shoot, didn't get the glide slope. All right. Didn't get the glide slope, came in high because of that weird turn thing that it did. See if we can get it down here. No flaps full. Got the glide slope. It's going back up to 2.
Approaching 28 right.
Above 300. Minimum.
And we're continuing. I've got the aircraft.
200. 100. 50. 40.
Retarding.
20. Retard. 10. 5.
And we have touchdown. Reverser's coming out. Reverser's come back in.
3,000 feet remaining.
Flaps coming up. Manual braking. All right. Take this next taxiway up here. Right here. Go and make our turn. So we can go to... Oh gosh. I did not turn as fast as I wanted it to. Go to standby. Lane lights come off. Runway comes off. Taxi. And landing system and flight director cycle that. Constraints come off. Go ahead and start the master switch for the APU. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Palm Beach International. Currently, the temperature outside is about 85 degrees. Slight winds. Should be a nice, pleasant day. Thank you once again for flying Delta. And if you would just stay seated until we get taxied to the gate. We'll turn the seatbelt signs off, and you'll be free to move about the cabin. Be careful with your belongings. They may have shifted in flight. And once again, guys, appreciate you flying with Delta. Go and start APU. Sorry about that, guys. Stream disconnected. Not sure why that did that, but we're back up and operational, so. Go ahead and make our turn here. Landing rate was negative 288. Not bad. Not the best, but still not bad, so we'll take it. We will take that. This is our gate right here. All right. Go ahead and turn that parking brake on. And let's go ahead and do a review of this landing here. I'm going to do a circle outside. And toggle replay mode. Unfortunately, the Flight Factor A320 does not have sound in the replay mode. I'm not sure why, but it is what it is. So we'll watch this. It's kind of weird to be silent, so I'll turn some music on. pretty smooth landing, a little bit off center, but we can deal with that. Still, again, still learning with this aircraft. Still quite new to me. We'll do it again here, but of course we'll go inside the aircraft so that we can see it from a passenger's point of view. Left wing or right wing? I think right wing will be a good one. But guys, that's gonna do it for tonight. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. Join with the membership if you want to support me financially, or drop me a super chat. And yeah, so that's it for today. Just note that I will not be live streaming the next 3 days because I'll be out of town. But thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys next time up in the sky.